5 little known reasons why that you keep getting no's. I did one on the psychology of why you get no's, but here are reasons, little known reasons, if you will, of why you're getting no's. And they're going to help you because I call it the no magnet. Many people are a no magnet. They just pull no's towards them like a magnet, and they don't realize why that's happening. Psychologically, we talked about it from an earlier video, from a psychological standpoint, but these little known reasons validate a lot of why that you're constantly getting no's from a practical standpoint, from an execution standpoint. And that's why I call it the no magnet. 5 little known reasons why you keep getting no's and what to do about it. The first one is you trigger the buyer's brain as far as survival, because that's the brain's main thing is to make sure that you survive. That is its job. And you trigger the buyer's survival brain before you trigger their thinking brain. Did you get that? That's what happens when people are in sales or people are trying to get somebody to do something. They trigger the wrong part of the brain, which is the one that's warning, warning, warning. That's what happens when you come across as with pressure. If in your tone, pacing, or energy feels at all pressureful or scammy or insincere or anything like that, then there's going to be a warning, warning, red flag that brain suddenly kicks in before it ever has an opportunity to even consider what you're saying. Their neurosystem says no before their logic or even emotional part of it gets to hear what it's about. And that's why that you can't pressure. You don't want to come across like you're trying to hide something. You're going to be upfront with them. You got to get them comfortable. And that's one of the biggest reasons why salespeople have a tendency to really struggle, at least new salespeople, because they don't know how to get somebody really comfortable. And when you understand the reason why, the biggest reason why the no magnet happens is because prospects don't like what they're feeling. That's the biggest reason why. It's not logical, it's emotional. They don't like what they're feeling, and then they use the logic to validate the no. This is why that anything that you do that makes them uncomfortable, anything that you say that's pressureful, anything that you say that's going to make them feel in a way that they can't trust you, it doesn't matter whether it's your eyes, whether it's your body language, whether it's your verbiage. It doesn't matter. It's not going to go well for you. This is the reason why. The first reason that you become a no magnet is you trigger the wrong part of the brain. It's the brain that says, warning, red flag, something's wrong. Number 2, you're selling the solution, which is what you're supposed to do. You're always selling a solution, but you're not increasing, lifting up, upgrading the buyer's self-image. This is one of the things that I've taught in sales for 30 years. Your job in selling, here's you, here's the product, here's the new self-image. Here's you, here's the product, here's the new self-image. You have to attach a new self-image of what the product's going to do and let them see themselves after they start taking the product or after they start learning your course or whatever. This is your new future. This is the new you. You're selling the solution, but you're not pointing to the upgraded self-image. People don't ever say yes to products. What they say yes is who they get to become because of the products. Whether it's lifestyle, whether it's physicality, whether it's looking younger, whether it's looking fitter, like, working out. But the question is, why don't people do it? Because they're more interested in selling the product versus creating a solution or an upgrade and then showing them in the future what they're going to look like or what life's going to be like. That is how that you sell. You're selling the solution, but you're not uplifting, increasing, upgrading the buyer self-image. Huge mistake. No magnet. You're going to get a no every time. Number 3, you're answering their objection instead of the insecurity beneath it. Did you get that? My mentor taught me that. He says, Douglas, you always have to answer the objection, but don't focus on the objection. What you want to do is the reason behind the objection. And I remember him saying that because he says, generally speaking, an objection is a true sign of insecurity. Most of the time, it's either bad timing or insecurity. He says those are the 2 big ones. Most no's aren't about pricing. Most no's aren't about timing, to be perfectly blunt. They're not. They're about fear. They're about failure. They're about risk. They're about, can I do this? They're about self-image. Most objections have the nuclear core catalyst from a prospect's self-image. And that is the reason why that when you start answering objection and not really truly focusing on their insecurity, you're going to have problems. What happens is you don't speak to the fear. You don't speak to the excuse. This is how that you always answer the objections. You know something? I appreciate you saying that. Thank you for bringing that. May I ask you a question? Well, sure. How do you feel about what you just said? I really don't have the money. I can't afford it. Oh, I really thank you for that, and I appreciate you telling me that. It's honest. But let me ask you another question, if you don't mind. How do you feel about that? Or I wouldn't have any interest in anything like that. Okay, well, I appreciate you being honest, but let me ask you a question. What about it are you not interested in? Because they don't have any information. This is why that you focus in on the insecurity underneath it, and you simply say a very simple line. I'm not trying to get you to do anything. I want you to understand that. I'm not. I'm just simply, again, I've said this over and over and over, I'm just simply trying or want to make you aware of something that's changed my life. It could possibly change yours. Maybe not. I don't know. You always speak to the insecurity and simply say, I'm not trying to get you to do anything. That is the most important line when something like that happens. Number 4, you're moving too fast for their internal decision-making path, rhythm, blueprint, what they're used to, the habitual success decision-making path. Everybody has a habit, a habitual path, 1, 2, 3, how they make decisions. It's different with some people. It's the same with some people. But what happens is there's a pace to it, a speed. They're slow decision makers. There's average decision makers, how most people make decisions. And there's a quick decision maker. I'm more of a quick myself. Each buyer has a natural pace, a natural speed, a natural tempo of making decisions. That's just how it works. And when you outrun it, when you get ahead of it, they shut down. Because the decision feels externally forced instead of internally ignited. And this is why that when you're pressuring someone to make a decision, they're going to back off. And the reason why is because they may be a very slow decision maker. And I always tried to figure out what kind of decision maker they were. And I would ask them a simple question. Let me ask you a question. As far as making decisions based on a product, something like this, do you normally make fairly quick decisions, or is this something you like to think about, or what? Because I wanted to get to know their decision pace, their decision tempo. And a lot of times they would say, well, usually I want to think about it. Great. Well, I'm not here to get you to do anything today unless you see something you really like. But at the same point, I want to make sure that the decision is right for you and it feels right. The feels right part is their tempo. If you're moving too fast and suddenly they start backing off, just simply back off and say, let's slow down this. Let's slow this down for a minute. Don't say anything for a couple seconds. Let's start where you started getting uncomfortable. And I used to say that. Let's start where you started getting a little uncomfortable because I want to visit that. And we would just talk about it. You're moving too fast for their internal decision-making tempo. And number 5, you haven't created emotional comfortableness yet before asking for a logical commitment. They don't feel safe with you, or they don't feel comfortable with you, or they don't feel that they can trust you yet, but yet you're asking for a logical commitment, and you can't do that. Seriously, you can't, because they're not going to make a decision based on what you want to happen. They're going to make a decision based on what they want to happen. A buyer who doesn't feel comfortable, who doesn't feel ready, and readiness is one of those things you got to have. It's going to be a problem, to be perfectly blunt. I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people out there that they have created literally something, an environment that people question, people don't feel comfortable with, and that's fine if that's what you want to do, but you're not going to sell very much. You must create an environment that people love to listen to you, they like you, and anything that you say they'll consider. That's the most that you can ask out of a sale. They love listening to you because you're comfortable. You come across as a friend. They feel safe with you because you're not trying to really get them to do anything. You're more making them aware of something that's changed your life. And then at that particular point, the odds of them actually purchasing from you or moving with you just skyrocketed. The reason why many people are a no magnet and they pull no's towards them, those are 5 reasons. I would revisit those if you would and rewatch this and take notes. Get your fire journal. All we're doing here is I'm an entrepreneur for 38 years. I'm a CEO of 8 companies. We just launched our 8th one, which is a publishing company, book publishing company. And I have a lot of experience, not only with 10 figures, I have done multi 10 figures, catalyze those in sales with companies, myself, with all the people I've been blessed to work with, but it's him. Always give him credit. You can do the same thing. That's why I do these videos, because I want you to learn what I know so that you can take it into the field and just blow it up. And that's why we do what we do. Thanks for listening. I'm Doug Fireball. And send this to somebody. If you're building something extraordinary, let me know. I'd love to know and see how I could help. Spread the fire.